UN General Assembly again condemned Russia for unleashing a war against Ukraine, and Azerbaijan, in a friendly manner, cut off the empire's tentacles stretching to Nagorno-Karabakh. It was also not possible to organize revolutionary protests in Yerevan that would have overthrown Pashinyan. Although the agents tried honestly. Aliyev personally apologized for several Russian soldiers who were shot to death in Karabakh. They say, "Sorry, say hello to them all." And Mother Simonyan humbly swallowed. And at this time, Ukraine broke through the main line of defense of the occupiers in the Zaporizhzhia region. The goal is to cut off the racist group on the left bank of the Dnieper, reaching the Sea of Azov or establishing fire control over the corridor to Crimea. A day earlier, the peninsula was subjected to perhaps the most massive drone attack. No one has ever tormented little mothers like that before. It got so bad that they had to take the underwater troughs from Sevastopol to Novorossiysk before they were drowned along with the little daddies. But the population was announced about a great achievement. The most progressive and advanced conscription system had been created in the cave. Nowhere in the world is it so effective to conscript people into war and stuff the earth with meat. An analysis of published data showed that mobilized Russians sent to the trenches of Ukraine remained alive for an average of about 4.5 months. Moreover, every fifth Mobik did not survive longer than 8 weeks. In a word, the pride rose so high that the ruble felt sick. In order to fill the treasury, the government is again increasing the tax burden on business, since the budget this year will have to spend another 10 trillion rubles on the war. From October 1, the government will introduce duties on the export of goods, which will depend on the ruble exchange rate. A devaluation tax will be charged when the dollar exchange rate is above 80 rubles. A wide range of goods were subject to exchange rate duties: fish, vegetables and fruits, alcohol, cement, polymers, rubber and products made from them, fur, paper and cardboard, wool, cotton, textile materials, ceramics, precious metals and jewelry, cast iron, yes, almost everything except oil and gas. So Putin's friends are in chocolate again, and the rest of the furry people will have their hair shaved off to the bone. Lean patriots will eat even less, but they will zig more often and higher. Taking into account the rebellious experience of the orchestra prisoners, the Russian Guard will be allowed to create PMCs. Zolotov is not a cook. He won't shave his head and he won't go crazy. Roskomnadzor is also not sitting idly by, but is preparing to introduce martial law. Here it was decided to check the readiness of significant telecom operators for damage and destruction of backbone networks during the period of martial law. So the military is rustling, the graves are making ears. Lavrov's delegation brought cholera with him from India, from the fields of the G20. So the maxim that the world, playing with shit, ended up with cholera, has become a harsh reality. It caves in the swamps so quickly that even its enemies, whom the system had previously deliberately not noticed and pretended not to exist, were ordered to be brought into the light and branded completely. On Thursday, September 21, the Ministry of Justice added journalist Alexander Sotnik to the register of extremists and terrorists. Moreover, immediately with an asterisk, indicating the terrorist danger posed by the person involved. Of course, Interpol has not taken such fake accusations seriously for a long time, but the season for growling is open. They started talking about Sotnik again, having discovered that the information gopher of terrorism exists. But all week the system tried to somehow fit Ramzan Kadyrov into reality, who either died or recovered forever. The information field was literally bombarded with canned meat from the swollen infantryman. He either walked in the rain, or consoled a crying uncle in some clinic, or met with the head of the Ministry of Emergency Situations, Kurinkov. But the flickering Dondon never dispelled rumors about his desire to urgently report to Allah. Kobzon looks at his watch, not losing hope. And meat organisms tremble, anticipating October 1, when the doors of the slaughterhouse will open and the butcher's military commissars will begin a new reception of live minced meat. Footcloth Deputy Guralev demands that all the unemployed be sent to war at supersonic speed, establishing a 15-hour working day in the rear without days off. And the bald rat rushes around the cave, sneaking from Ijesk to Veliki Novgorod and pretending that everything is under control. And Zelensky cuts through his overseas enemies. He either shakes Biden's hand or kisses Trudeau. The day before, the misunderstanding between Ukraine and Poland regarding grain was resolved. Slovakia also softened its position. So the Kremlin's hopes for the disintegration of the Allied coalition were not justified. The Pentagon concludes a contract with Starlink in the interests of Ukraine, and Zelensky promises to de-occupy Bakhmut and 2 other cities. After these promises, the Sevastopol grandfathers put up a smokescreen, deciding to get high in the trash. And in the sky above Tula, the plane went to supersonic speed with such a bang that the end of the world came with the cutting off of electricity. The cattle depot is rushing at full speed towards the cattle burial ground. And it's about to go supersonic.